Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of FoolCraft! Today we are taking advantage of this vast open space to do some more Botania. Last episode we collected every kind of petal that we needed to, so we can get started. First, however, I got this message today when I logged in. It says, "Time for the 12 days of Petmas. The fun begins on December 14th. To play, simply craft your holiday pet." And then you can click there and it takes you to a link. Let me call it up here. And it shows you how to create some Christmas pets. So obviously we have to do that first. I mean, come on now. I don't know if it's going to be in the system at all. Oh, yeah, there we go. Christmas tree pet. Do we have... We do. We have everything we need. Yay! I want a menorah pet, too. Menorah. Menorah pet. Yes! Try again during Petmas. Okay, so we can't use them until, darn, until December 14th, but we are definitely going to use them when it hits December 14th. Let me tell you. Okay, we only have one item frame. There we go. I hope these can actually go into item frames because I want to have them here so I don't forget about them. No. There you go. Oh, they look so cute. And they're still animated with their little faces moving. Oh. Alright. Enough of that nonsense. So, where were we? Right, Botania. Well, we're over here, actually. I want to see if there's anything good coming out of... Oh, trash bags. I was all excited. I thought it was fool's bags. Nope. It's not. Oh well. Alright, so, Botania. The first thing we need to do is create the Lexica Botania. And that's easy. It's just a book and any kind of sapling. There we go. And we open it up, and we get our first achievement. Alright. Welcome to Botania. Yep. Okay, yep. If you've never read this before, it's really interesting, but I've read it like 6 times, so I'm not going to bother reading it this time. Alright, so the very first thing we need is a petal apothecary. See. Let's get some slabs. And I don't think I have any petals. That's okay. Let's head back over to the Botania area. What do we have a lot of? Lime petals. That seems fine. And then we can use our grid to grab some cobblestone and the slabs that we made. Great. All right. Oh, I have it set to the wrong color petal. That's an irritating thing about the Botania recipes is if you don't use the same colored petal, it won't recognize it. You can use any color petal, like to do the petal apothecary, like you can use white or orange or any of the colors. But to click in the recipe, you have to have the right color, which, it's a shame. Alright, so, I'm going to put this right here. And the next thing that I want to do is automate it. Because putting water into the petal apothecary is a pain in the butt. So... I think we have Yeah, I think the mechanical user can do it with a reservoir, perhaps. And I need 2 more of those. Where is it? Oh, for some reason that's still... Oh, I don't have this synced. That's why. JEI synchronized. There we go. Reservoir. Oh, right, I can't craft here. So let's get this down. And actually, let's put it down 1 more. Of course you're gonna do that. My inventory is just full of crud, isn't it? Okay, so that ought to work. I hope. Let's see if we have any water buckets that we can just quickly test that. Of course, we don't have any buckets for some reason. Oh. And we can't craft things. Yeah, it is tempting to switch over to an AE system. Why do you ask? And we do have buckets. It was lying to me. Alright, let's grab this. And then... Oh, how are our cows doing? A little bit more to go. Good job, guys. Oh, and you're about to go in a minute. I've got plenty of power, though. I'm not really worried about it. Let's grab this water down here. Why did I take so many buckets? I don't need that many. All right, so let's do this redstone on for the moment. And we want use item on block, upper left slot only, because I'll have this passing back and forth between an ender tank and this. And then turn it on. Is it going to work? Activate block with item? Oh. Okay, so the problem there is that it keeps scooping the water out. But that actually won't be a problem once we get the ender tank in here, and the ender conduits, because those will... The ender conduit will suck the bucket out before it has a chance to reactivate, which is good. Okay, so back to the basement. We need an ender tank, and we need 2 more reservoirs. We need a cauldron, easy peasy. And then we need a tank. Oh, we have one. Cool. A fluid tank. And then we need some conduit. Conduit. And then we also need a filter. Not a filter W, just a filter. Let's grab 2 of these. I don't know what was in them, but we'll just clear them out and it'll be fine. Okay. So this can go in there, this can go in there, this can go in there, this can go in there. So much stuff. Wow, my inventory is a mess. My goodness. Animal nets. Can get that out of here. I can put that in there. Let's get that safari net out of here. That. And we'll keep the rest of the stuff on us. Should be good. Actually, we don't need that now either. All right, so this should be everything we need to automate the petal apothecary. And it's dark out, because of course it is. We have the reservoir here. And this goes like this. The reservoir is cool because it gives you an endless water source that you can actually draw on with a fluid tank. You know, if you don't just throw it on the ground. I'll break this down for now, but we'll use it again later. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. All right, so fluid tank on top of the reservoir. If I hit pull, you can see it's going to start filling with water. If we put a bucket in there, the bucket fills with water from the tank and then gets ejected right there. So what we can do with that is attach these like this. This extract filtered to full buckets, always active. And then this in and out extract empty buckets, always active. This should actually be on in and out as well. So extract, yeah, perfect. Okay, so what this should do, see, it has a full water bucket, so it's not, oh, I deactivated it. So it has a full water bucket, which means it's not being pulled into this to be filled. But if we turn this on, see, it filled this, and then the empty bucket got sucked out, put into here, filled, and cycled back into here. Yay! Okay, so that works perfectly. And that will save us from having to dump a lot of water buckets into that petal apothecary because we need to make a lot of flowers. As the name suggests, Botania is very botanical based. So, where's the, here it is. So we need a lot of flowers and plants and seeds. And we can put these away now. All right, so petal apothecary, check. The next thing that we need is a pure daisy. And I'm actually going to make 2. And I wonder, I have a lot of seeds, but I wonder if these will work. I'm just going to give it a try. All right, so to make the pure daisy, you just start throwing petals into the water, and it has to be white petals. And you need 4 of them. And then you toss a seed, and yes, those seeds do work. Awesome. And you get a pure daisy. These are what basically create the building blocks that you'll need for Botania, which is living wood and living rock. You can also use them to make things like snow, which is cool. And also what's good about the petal apothecary is if you have an empty hand and you right click, if you can, hello? I guess it lost the recipe. Anyway, usually if you have an empty hand and you right click, it'll add back the same recipe that you just did. So, shoop. I don't know why that's not. It was doing it. I don't know. Okay, so now we have 2 pure daisies. 1, 2. Okay. And we can start making some living rock and some living wood. And to do that, obviously, the first thing we need is some stone. And I would like more than that, if I may. And I forgot that I can't make it. That's okay. That'll be enough to start. And then we need some wood as well. So to make these pure daisies start doing their thing, they don't need any mana or power or anything. You just put down what you need around it in a circle, a square. It is Minecraft. And you just let it go. And it takes a couple minutes for it to change everything over, so it's a good idea to go find something else to do while it's working. And we'll go ahead and put all this stuff away. I do have an axe, right? Yes. Okay, stone hatchet. I'm gonna need that. Living wood and living rock can be harvested the same way that you harvest regular rock and regular wood. So with a pickaxe and an axe. Not too hard. Alrighty. There we go. I think it's less than a minute or something, that, or maybe it's exactly a minute it takes for it to start changing. And we're gonna automate this later as well. Like this is not gonna stay doing it by hand. I just want to get it started. I want to get to a point where absolutely everything in Botania is automated. All right, so we have our first living rock and our first living wood. So the first thing that we want to do with our living rock is to make a mana pool. The mana pool is basically the storage battery of Botania. It stores all of the mana that you're going to make with the flowers. Mana is the flower version of electricity, I guess. So let's put this, for now, let's put it right here. And then the other thing we're going to need right away is a mana spreader. And there goes more living rock. Great. And I believe it's like this. Like this. There we go. Okay. Mana spreader. This is kind of like the conduit, I guess you would call it. This is what transfers mana from one place to another. It's the mana spreader. I forgot we're gonna need, let's do gray and yeah, light blue. That sounds good. Another thing we need, as soon as we get this next batch of living wood here, is we need to make a wand of the forest. And the wand of the forest allows us to interact with things. Let's put down some more stone. Nope. That piece doesn't matter. It's not going to affect anything, but it's not going to change either, so we'll just take it down. All right. Put down the oak wood. Nice. Okay, so wand of the forest. You can, again, this is something that you can make with any color leaves. Petals. You can make it with any color petals, but you need 3 living wood twigs. And then you just put one petal here and one petal here. And you'll notice that it does reflect the colors of the petals that you put in. So if you like a particular color combination, you can definitely do it. Cool. All right, so you'll notice now that I have the wand of the forest in my hand, I can see that the mana spreader is connected to this mana pool because it's got this row of sparkly green doodads here. But right now it's not transferring any mana because it doesn't have any mana to transfer. So to fix that, we need to create our first mana producing flower. And all of this stuff is also in the Lexica Botania, but I find, where's the, nope. There we go, back button. All right. You'll find all of the stuff in here. It gives you like a tutorial of the basics and that kind of stuff. I just find that the way they do it in here is a little bit confusing. But if it's easier to read than it is to watch a video, then I mean that's how some people learn. As for me, I like to see things actually in motion rather than reading about them. Okay, so our first flower. It's the general first flower, the Endoflame. What's this? Rendog loot bag. Okay. This is endothermically reactive, this is a flower that generates mana, and this particular flower will eat anything that you can burn to create mana. And to create it, in the petal apothecary, you need 2 brown petals, a red petal, and a light gray petal. This is the one of, if not the easiest flower to produce, so it's generally what you're going to start with. So it's a light gray and a red. And what I'm actually going to do, I remember now why I had that bone meal in my inventory, is I'm going to, I don't need 3 of these. I'm going to grow some extra plants of these so that we don't run out. But I have it in the proportion of the flowers that I need, so I'll end up with the same proportion. Very nice. And now we've got enough petals for 4 flowers. Do it again. And remember, you have to harvest the tall ones with shears. It will not work any other way. You'll just break it and lose it. And you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's grab some seeds. One, two, one, and done. And I earned a nice little, see, it worked that time. I right-clicked with an empty hand and it added the recipe back again. And then all you have to do is throw in the seed. So you can make a lot of flowers really quickly. That and like that. I love it. Okay. And that is why I set up the automation for that first. Otherwise, it's just a really grindy process where you have to get the bucket and fill it and all right, so starting with the endoflames. And we've got 7 of them here. So let's go like this. Now, because I put these endoflames down after I put the spreader down, they are connected to the spreader. If I had put these down before I put the spreader down, they wouldn't be connected. And you can see if they're connected to a spreader or not by holding your wand to the forest and looking at them. You see how it says endoflame and there's a bar below it. That's how much mana the endoflame is holding at the moment. And you'll see that it's empty because it's not producing anything. And then to the right of it, you'll see a picture of the spreader with a green check mark. that means that it's connected to a spreader. If it wasn't connected to the spreader, it would have a red X. And you can also see which spreader it's actually connected to by hovering over it. If I wanted to, I could put another spreader over here, and I could shift right click and shift right click, and it would bind to that spreader instead. But we don't want to do that. We want them all to be part of this spreader. So I'm going to grab some coal, because that is, think of endoflames as like the furnace generators of the Botania world. They're pretty inefficient, but they're usually what you're going to use to start with on your technical tree. So, and the flowers actually pick stuff up off the ground to eat. Okay. It shows that they're all going. I don't know if I dropped enough pieces of coal. Oh, and you can see that this is starting to gather mana. If you right click on it, you can see there's a little tiny bit of a blue bar at the bottom of the mana pool. Yeah, there's a visual glitch with the endoflames where they'll all look like they're burning, but they might not necessarily be. Yeah. And you can also see, even without the Wand of the Forest, you can now see the mana spreader shooting the mana pulses at the mana pool. Cool. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is automate this, because I don't want to have to be dropping coal on the ground by myself all the time. It's a pain. So let's gather up some more of this living wood. And this is a really, 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 really simple way to do early automation. I love it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you take 2 pieces of living wood and you turn it into planks, which is the same way that you do planks regularly. And then you make them in an upside down U, and that makes what's called an open crate. The open crate is cool because it drops things directly down. Like with a dispenser or a dropper, sometimes they'll go off in different directions, but the open crate doesn't do that. Sorry, flower, I'm just gonna have to move you a little bit. Okay, so the second thing we need is a pressure plate. And we need to put that down on the ground right there. And then put the open crate right above it. And then we need, actually that I might need to go back one. Yeah, okay. The next thing we need is a hopper. And we're going to have to go back for that. The open crate can't accept items on its own. It doesn't have a GUI or any kind of internal storage. So if you right click on it or left click on it or anything, it doesn't show you anything. You have to use something to put things into it. And you can use a variety of things, because we're going very simplistic because it's our first Botania build really. I'm just going to use a hopper. But I have to go build one. At least we have the travel anchors in. I mean, that makes everything a lot easier. Okay. Hopper. There we go. And I'll take this chest as well. And then while we're here, let's grab some redstone. We don't need that much, but we can always put it back. All right. Back to Botania. Ah, is it nighttime again? My goodness. Let's add some light. Obviously, I'm going to fix this later. It's not always going to be torches. But for now, I just want to get the basic stuff set up first and worry about aesthetics later. Okay, so we have the open crate here in an area where it can drop the coal for the endoflames. Next, we're going to put this hopper right here. And hoppers are activated and deactivated by redstone. So when something is on this pressure plate, it will activate this redstone, which will then deactivate the hopper, which means that the hopper won't let anything into the open crate, and the open crate won't drop anything. Allow me to demonstrate. Oh, haha. Allow me to take off my ring of magnetization and then demonstrate. And now an endoflame is going to eat that. It disappears, and another piece of coal could have dropped. See, it was only one piece of coal, but every single endoflame here has lit up, which is weird. Okay. So with the redstone, it's also, I'm not sure why. I don't know how. I'm not good at redstone. I don't know why, but you do have to put this piece back here. You can't just have it here near the hopper. It won't work unless you have the piece back here as well. I don't know. Okay, so we can put a chest on top of the hopper, some coal, and the endoflames should eat through a lot of this coal. And then you should see one piece that will just sit there. Any second now. Okay, there we go. So now all the endoflames are eating coal and producing mana. So this piece is just going to sit here basically until either an endoflame eats it or it despawns, one or the other. If it despawns, that would be a waste. The coal doesn't last long enough generally to despawn. But when we get into different kinds of fuel later, we will have to set up a system that will, if this doesn't get eaten, that will gather it back into the chest. And we can very easily do that with more stuff from Botania. Yay! All right. Nice. So we are doing well in our start to Botania here. I need to go set up a couple more things, and I will bring you right back. See you in a bit. All right, and I have once again checked the time and found that we are vastly over time, so I do apologize for that, but we got a lot done in Botania today. We got our very first mana production system going. We've got our petal apothecary set up and automated, which is huge. It's a huge thing. Like, it's such a simple thing to do, but it makes such a difference. And we got our first living daisies. Pure daisies, not living daisies. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. If you come back next time, we will definitely be progressing a lot further into Botania. I'll see you next time. Bye!